Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're in the creative builds world in Minecraft, and we began our very colourful house over here by the beach in our little getaway village area over here, right next to our beach motel. So I'd like to complete this in today's episode if at all possible. So in the last episode we put on this roof, so we're now going to want to raise our walls at the back and the front, and as you can see, because we've actually got stairs in some places in line with the wall, we're going to have to remove one or two of these in order to put in our wall. So if I just knock out a couple of these here, then we can begin on putting the front wall into our build. So the first colour I'd like to use is the pink concrete, and I'd like to make 3 rows of this. So I'd like to go 1, 2, 3 tall. So now I have to think, where are we going to put in the floors in this build? I would kind of like to have a small bedroom up here, so we would want a floor to be put inside the house at the point where we're going to have this floor put in. So where I'd like to do that is on the top layer of the blue. So I'm going to use this white glazed terracotta to do my flooring, and I've just put them in straight across here rather than trying to follow the pattern. So you've got 2 ways of putting the flooring in. You can just put them in and just leave them as a sort of random pattern, or you can attempt to put them in as the full pattern, which means rotating, of course. So if we put one there and then one there and rotate every 90 degrees, it should give us the pattern. You have to figure out where the pattern is in order to put them in with the actual pattern in, and then decide which you prefer. Do you just want the random geometric or the little like flower design in the centre? I think for this floor I'm just going to put them in a straight line so we get that random geometric pattern, but decide for yourselves how you want to put your flooring in. We rotated the lower level floor, but I'd like to just finish the build today, just not take all your time trying to rotate the design for this terracotta. So let's go back to the wall. So as I say, we want to go 3 tall, so 1, 2, 3 measures the height for our pink, and then we decide where are we going to want a window. Now I kind of like the windows to be in line with the ones we've got on the lower floor, so I'll run a row across here so that you've got a row on the upper level, and then we'll add the windows. So in line it would be right here, so I'm going to make 2 tall window right there. So in line with the window again it will be right here, so that'll move us here, and then you can decide whether to have 3 windows or just 2, or you can decide that you don't like them in line because this is right next to the wall here, and you could just move them across so you just have 2 windows. So there's lots of options for how you want to put this in. It all depends on how you think aesthetically it looks the best. So run a row of the pink concrete all the way across, knock out the stair blocks where the wall should be, and add a block, and then remember you want your windows in line, or at least I want mine in line, so every alternate one is then going to be concrete, and we'll do that again for the next row up. And now I'd like to move to the white concrete. So again we'll need to knock out a couple of the stair blocks in order to be able to place the full blocks. So that's 1 row, 2 rows, and again we'll need to knock out the concrete, and then you've just got space for 1 more block, and you can decide whether you want to continue with the white or just make it a different colour at this height. So I'm just going to put 2 rows behind there just to make the wall flat, and then if we come round to the front, and because it's so tall you could always put in a light right at the very top of the roof. In fact, let's just finish this off first and then we can think about whether we want to do that. 1, 2 rows Then we need to knock out the stairs again so that it can fit nicely. Let's knock the stair out from the other side first, just to make it nice and neat. And then we want to go up and there. Now that looks like quite a big section of wall all at once, so we could actually put in another window. You'd have to decide where you'd want the window. I think I might actually put the window right in the very top, like so. So what we want now is our glass again. So let's change that for the pink, because we don't need that again. So let's do that. Go to the glass and let's add the glass. So 1, 2 at the very top. 1, 2 there. So all the windows are 2 tall and 1 wide in our build. And so that is the back. Oh no, that's not, that's the front of my build. So let's go around the back and make sure we've done the same in there. So we've actually got the main structure of the house completed now, but I would like to add a porch to it. So we've got 2 floors in the house and this really distinct, very different type of roof, and I just think something that colourful is just completely different to anything that we've built before, and I just quite like it. If you don't like all the colours, of course you can build the same sort of structure of a house but with less colourful blocks, if that is what you would prefer. So for the outside now, what I would like to do is add a porch area. So for the porch itself, we can remove some of these blocks now so we're not too confused about which blocks we're using. So here are the blocks that I'd like to use for the porch: the white concrete, the white glazed terracotta, the prismarine wall and the diorite stairs. I'd like the porch to come in front of the house here over the water, and I'd like it to extend around this side of the house because this has a view out over to the ocean monument in the ocean over in this direction. And I'd also like the access point up to the porch to be here. So if I grab the diorite stairs, this is where I want the access to the porch to be, at the side of the house. And just to make that look neat, I think what we'll do is grab the purple just so that it looks like the house is nicely seated into the ground rather than free floating just on top of the grass, just to give it that illusion that everything is nice and solid. Then with the white glazed terracotta, what I'd like to do is make the porch along the side of the build. So hang on, if I do the let's think about this. How does the rotation thing work for this particular block? Right, I think then there you go, that's how the block looks if you rotate it. I think how do we want to do this? I think we're going to want to extend the porch. So what I think I will try and get the pattern on this one, so we'll want the pattern to be right on the corner of the house because the porch is going to go this way and that way. So let's try and get this sorted right. So the first one is like so, and then the second one at 90 degrees. So it just takes a little bit of figuring out how the pattern works in order to make sure you do your rotation to place your blocks in the right way. So that's how that pattern works, and then we want to extend this along the building. So we've got to get our spot right again. This could be slightly problematic for the block placement. So if I just put a row all the way along here, then we can change the pieces to the right ones, and then the stairs will then come down to the side. Look, if I can put them in the right place, right over here. Thank you, that's got that in the right direction. So every second block now we need to remove so that we can get our pattern right. That was wrong. That was the wrong second block. Oh, kitty, 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 you're not doing good, are you? Right, so let's get this right. So That's the one that wants to be removed, and then every other one to get the pattern right. I think that's right. Right, let's try that again. Right, no, that's this one. This is going to take a little bit of figuring out so I get the pattern right, isn't it? Right, so let's think this. Ah, there we go. So every second one, so these two are going to need to go. So that will that be that one. Yes, so we've not got quite a complete pattern all the way along. There we go. Right, so we have a half pattern here on this side because this is an odd length. This is 9 across this way and then 7 across this way, but we've not gone quite all the way along. So we've got the full pattern all the way along the side here and all the way along here, and then just a half pattern right at the edge here where we've got access down towards the motel area. So perhaps this house is the people that own the motel, maybe. Depends how you want that to go, isn't it? And then I would also like to go back to the diorite stairs, and this time I want to run a row all the way along the side of where we've now added our porch area, so that we've got that shaped edge to the porch so that it looks like it's turned inwards. So if we come across towards where the water is, and then we can go down, you can see how the slab turns at the side like that, so that it's kind of free floating, and I kind of like that effect. And then I'd like to use the prismarine wall for the supports and the fence. If you don't like something quite that solid, you can of course use any of the other types of wall or fencing. The wood ones of course look less substantial, but I kind of like the solid one for this build so that you can't fall out over the water. And you just go all the way around like so. And then of course you have the choice, you can either just leave it like that, or you could even add a small surround around the edge of the build if you want there to be an overhang over your porch area. But I kind of like the idea of it being open because it's kind of beachy and holiday, and that is the design that I thought I'd come up with for the exterior of the house. Now the house itself doesn't have an awful lot of decoration on it. It's kind of relying upon the different colours to add the texture to the build. And it's the contrast in the different colours and the patterns that add the detail to this particular build. You can of course add a little bit more in the decor to the sides if you really want. For instance, right here we've got that step up, so you can add a stair to the front of the build. I think I'd use the same block that we've just been using so that you've got the access upwards, and then of course you can do the reverse just above where the door is, so you have the turn like so, just to add a little bit of detail to the build. So just like so. And I don't really want to add anything else to the exterior because I think with all the patterned colours that we've got on the build, that would just make it that little bit too busy. So now we've done all of that, we want to add some torches to light things up, and then we can take a look at the interior that we want to build for the house. So I'm just going to add a torch at each corner of the porch area, and then I'm going to go inside, add a few torches, do a little bit of decor to the build, and then I will give you a quick tour of the build. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching the video. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will show you my interior just after this. From Soft Kitty 99, goodbye and happy gaming!